Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. How are we all doing there? So, things are underway. Thankfully the stream actually started. I did have a little bit of an issue there, so I'm late by a moment. I'm sure we'll be able to forgive that one. So, how is everybody doing today? Let's get things rolling. Okay, just need to get things set up on my side screen. How are you doing there, Red? It's nice to see you. Okay. Right, fantastic. I've got a better view now. Yeah. 4th of July. Wow. I mean, this is the day that we gained independence from the aliens, right? Hello there, Tephilis. How are you doing? You know, I actually started watching the new Independence Day, was it Resurgence, something of that nature. I only got about 20 minutes in there, not really too deep into the film. I've heard it's kind of poor. I've heard it's really kind of like a poor film, but hey. If the visuals are okay, then I'll give it a watch and see what it's like. I mean, I can critique the ever-living hell out of it afterwards. But if it's a decent film to watch, i.e. turn your brain off, then some entertainment, I suppose, there. Anyway, it's a beautiful day here. How are we all doing? We'll be going live in about 7 minutes here, so not long now, not long at all. Okay, so we have a lot to be doing in this session to come. There's going to be a heck of a lot. I mean, for instances, we do have the SS Panzer divisions around here. We must take control of that situation. What is your tactic? All out for Berlin? Well, it's a good question, really. If we take a look at the actual objectives, I mean, we will be going back over this once the stream starts in proper. I mean, this is just so we can have a good chat here. Our current objectives really are, I'm going to bring up the drawing tool. We will repeat this in about 10 minutes or so. It's probably a good way to start the stream off, just so I have a recap of what the situation is. Okay, so what our objective is at the moment is to basically establish this as a pocket. We have the second, well, we have the SS Panzer armies over here. Hello there, mate, how are you doing there? So we have the SS Panzer armies over here, which we need to destroy. We also do have another Panzer army. There's a lot of armoured fighting vehicles. In fact, there's probably a significant percentage of the German AFV number on the Western Front over in this location. So the game plan here then is to establish this as a chokehold. Try to cut off these hexes and choke them. We do have a few advantageous propositions to consider. For instance, we're going to draw the river line here. So we have the river all the way here. It creates something of a cauldron for us. I'm going to bring up a nice green to represent the allies. Actually, let's see, do I have a purple? I could really do with updating this tool. I'll use this as my purple. So, what we're trying to do here at the moment is we're trying to push towards our friendly lines over here to the south. The reason being, I want to constrict their supply as much as possible. So each hex marked in yellow is a hex that they can trace supply through. So at the moment, there's only 4 hexes wide. And that's what they have to supply their lines with. They do have this river, well, they do have the rail line that is still connected for the time being. So it is going to be sending supplies. Like if we draw this in black, you can see here that the rail line heads out from Koblenz, heads down here, and then up to the north. I don't believe there's a connection here. What we can do is we can turn off units. There we go. And this makes it easier to draw out our plans. So you can see here that the actual rail line heads to the north. We take that back. Yep, you can see here. So it heads from Koblenz to Trier up to here at Bitburg. Now from Bitburg it heads up to the north. So they can trace their supplies back to this rail line. This rail line will be well, it will be under heavy pressure. But what we have to bear in mind is that they have these supporting rail lines as well. So in all honesty, they are more or less cut off from practical supply over here in the north. They're going to suffer in this region primarily. But over here, they're doing okay. They're going to be receiving their supplies. So really our objective in this session will be to capture the city of Trier. This is really where we're going to make our game plan known. If we capture Trier, that's going to cut them off. Yes, rail lines are extremely important. They are phenomenally important. I cannot actually showcase the... I mean, I can do that. But they are phenomenally important. Just take my word on that one. They are redonkulously important. So we will be going over this in a few moments once the stream starts in proper. This is really just to give an idea to people who are new to the stream, new to the series, and new to myself, new to the game, an idea of what's going on basically. But things are going well. I love this drawing tool, it comes in so handy. If anybody's wondering, it's called Epic Pen. You know what, I need to email them to do some advertisement for them. I swear I've become something of a shill for them. But you know what, it's a great day. Really happy to be here to stream for Matrix games. Superb lot. Great guys to talk to. Fantastic accents. Will you set aerial targets yourself or let the AI handle it? No, I take full control of the air front basically. I have in earlier sessions allowed the RAF tactical command to be commanded by the AI. More so just to get the ball rolling, but I'm taking control of that since the last session. It's really handy, to be fair. It really does allow us to make a lot of progress, I should say. So we have captured a few objectives here. Let's just point out we have Baston, Aachen, how the heck you say it. The Saar was a good objective to take. We've actually pushed forward our lines quite nicely. We are pressuring the German forces in the west quite significantly. So, 2 minutes to go until the stream starts. I hope you guys are having a good day or evening, wherever you are. I assume for a lot of people it's the evening, I assume for the other half it's probably the afternoon. And you know what, by saying that I can't actually be wrong. Unless you live really far out away from me and it's actually night, then I am wrong. Okay, only a short amount of time now until the stream begins in proper. I hope you guys are ready. Do you have your seatbelts on? I always like this part, I always get to do a nice introduction. Only mere seconds until 6 PM. I need an egg timer or some kind of countdown. Mere moments. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. The time is now 6 PM and the stream has officially started. So we're here once again. Your clock says 7:01. Well, your clock is a little bit too fast. So, we are here once again to complete what we started in the last session. Ideally, that will be the complete destruction of the second, I believe it's the second SS Panzer Army or the first SS Panzer Army. I can't remember the actual name of that headquarters. But that is our objective. Now, as I was saying to the stream just before the actual stream began in proper, our objectives, and really where we're going, the overall plan. So, as I was saying, we have Koblenz over here, which is basically, wow, that's a really bad circle. Woo, let's just take this off here. Hello there, Black Mesa, how you doing, my dude? So, yes, we have Koblenz, which is the supply priority for the Germans. This is where they're pulling a lot of their supply from. I'd imagine from Bonn to, obviously from Cologne. Cologne's a major source of supply, one of the permanent sources of supply, I do believe. Frankfurt, a very large city. But in this area, the immediate area of which we are dealing with the Panzer armies, it would be Koblenz. Now we have the rail line that comes out from Koblenz and heads towards Trier. Trier is going to be another major supply source. It's one that is very much on the front lines. So how much supply they're pumping out there, I'm not entirely sure. Now we have the rail lines head north towards Bitburg. Now Bitburg is an incredibly important objective, more so because this is where a depot will be operating. And then we have the rail lines head out here. Now, we have managed to sever the rail connection here, which is a pivotal, absolutely pivotal engagement that we were able to carry out very successfully. Now, the rail line has been broken off here, broken and cut. But the rail line connects on and heads out to Bonn in the north, where we have a connection to the town that we captured, and then on to Cologne. So, in reality, we need to sever these two connections. The first one being this rail line, which is going to be interesting. We might be able to pull that one off. The line from Cologne heads down here to the south and doesn't connect up again to this line until it reaches our Mainz. So that's pretty good. So this over here and the city of Trier are our main objectives in this area. What we do have to take a look at is the river lines. So we have our river line going along here, around Koblenz, up to the north, towards Cologne. Now this is an incredibly vital river line. It's going to draw on the secondary rivers, the smaller ones just over here. The reason for that is basically what you have to imagine, is we have something akin to a big shield. So this river line here, let's see. Now that is meant to be a shield and not so much a love heart, but I'm going to make it a love heart. So we have our love heart here, our love heart shield. This is the Wehrmacht, or at least the here's defense in the west. At the moment, if we take a look at this with the units on, by the way, is the music a little bit too loud? I'm just going to turn it down slightly, just to make sure everybody can hear me properly. There we go. So as we can see here with the actual units turned on, you can see that their forces are deployed quite far ahead of the actual river line here. Though what they will do, we will draw the German movement on in white. They will head in this direction, and they will form a defensive line along the river. What we need to prevent is that very action. So we're going to draw our allied movements in a nice green. So at the moment we are trying to penetrate their defences, penetrate their lines, and cut them off in the centre. And that is the most direct route, though it's definitely not the best. Heartbreak. So, that is the most direct plan. Though I am envisioning a new one. Basically, if we take a look over here to the south, we have a large build-up of forces. We're going to do this one in... Do I have a brown? I've got an orange, that's close enough. So we have a large amount of force over here. The German defenders aren't exactly too powerful. We do have 45 here, which is a Panzer Division, an SS Panzer Division, no less, so very well armed. We do have a Panzer Division here. I can't see what's underneath it as of this moment, as I'm in the drawing mode. So what we're going to do is we're going to identify places of weakness. So this is a place of weakness. We do have one over here far to the south, but that's not too useful to me right now. Yeah. The drawing tool is honestly fantastic. I mean, what I'd like to do is see if there's any better drawing tools out there in the future, just so I can show this off a little bit better. Ideally have it in different phases so I can overlay them. That'd be lovely. Okay. Yeah, it is really good for streaming. I'm not even kidding about that. I mean, this position over here isn't too strong. The defenses of Trier are going to be very strong due to the urban centre. So this is actually a lie. It's going to be much tougher than that in reality. So if we take a look here, we have a position of strength for the German forces, which I'm going to draw in a lighter colour. So this is our position of strength that we are facing. I'm going to colour that in here. Let's use a larger... There we go. Let's colour that in. So we can ignore it and pretend it doesn't exist. Because functionally we're going to ignore it and go around it. So let's draw our movements. I'm going to go for the green. Yes, what we're going to do then is trying to break through here in the flanks. This one over here is definitely a lower priority due to the nature of the beast. I don't have much force in this area. I do have armoured divisions. I've been playing the Germans too much. I do have armoured divisions over this way, which I might route over to this side of the river Moselle. But this is probably our best bet over here. If we could break through here, I could potentially break through here. Link up with our forces and ideally try to entrap these divisions. But that's not very likely. I don't have that much force in the area, unless I draw on the Free French divisions to the south and the extra armor to the south. But either way, a secondary plan, and a more likely plan to work than this one, is we advance from the south towards Koblenz. If we advance to the south, we're going to be able to take out their supply, cut the rail connections, and really cause havoc in the German logistic network. Our bridge is modelled in the game. How it works is basically when you cross a river, you are losing a lot of movement. If you cross a river and attack, you are going to take a severe penalty. So I suppose bridges are modelled in that aspect, as you will take really quite severe penalties. I suppose bridges are modelled as we only have these rail connections across the rivers on these bridges, I suppose. So there's only a finite amount of them. Would be nice if bridges were modelled in a more detailed manner, but hey, we'll take what we got. This game is honestly superb. There's not much else that comes close to this level of detail, and when I say comes close to this level of detail, I mean incompetency. There's not a huge amount. So that's a very complicated looking war plan there. I imagine you guys are just dropping in and thinking, what the heck have I just seen here? There's a love heart, there's some kind of blue squiggle, there's like, I was going to say something, but I'm sure you guys will be able to imagine what I was going to say. So I'm just going to take that plan off for the time being. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into this then. So first of all, we're going to go over to our information screen. But before that, I need to figure out what command I have here. So I have the 12th US Army Corps. I'm going to go here to our logistics, our commander's log, our commander's report. We're going to deselect everything here. I'm going to go to freight. Freight. Whoops. There we go, freight. Excuse me. Okay, indeed an artiste. Right then, so I'm looking for the 12th US Army Corps. Let's see. Right, we're going to have to look at the actual army command then. So which army do you command? You command the 3rd US Army. So we have 3rd US Army over here then. So supplies needed 4,565 tons of supply. We received 2,348 tons of supply. 45 tons were lost in transit. And that's not great. Okay, so what we can do here is we can press the N key. And we can take a look at our logistics network. So, when we take a look at this, we're going to turn off the unit, we're going to turn off the objectives, we're just going to have the logistics on here. So when we take a look at this, you can see the actual colour of the rail network. If we take a look in Britain, you can see that the rail network is very much strained. There's a lot of supply in Britain that is being sent across the channel and into France and into Europe proper. So, this rail line, for example, the lightest green has hardly any traffic. The ones that are yellow have a higher amount of traffic, we can see here. So, rail usage is about 5,000 tons, over here is 892. So we can assume that 5,000 tons plus are being sent across here. Can I find a rail network with more traffic? I can't at the moment. We'll look out for one in the future. I want to show you the difference in the amount of traffic on these rail lines. But basically, if we were to, for example, transport a unit from Paris along the rail network, it would put a severe strain on the rail network, which lowers the amount of supplies that we can move in a given turn. So if we take a look at this region here, a vast majority of forces are drawing on these depots here. Now, the one at Ettelbruck is a lower priority, so what I will do is actually change that priority to a higher one. The rail yard is actually completely functional, which is fantastic, so I'm going to make that a high priority. These ones are going to remain high. Let's see, we don't have anything else. I am going to lower the priority of these depots. Actually, no, I'm going to keep them at about the same level. Okay. I could drop the priorities of a lot of these other depots, basically make sure we get the supplies to where we need it. Which, yeah, I'm going to do. Cherbourg, obviously, is going to be receiving those supplies. These are all level 0. Paris does not really need anything as it produces a lot itself, but we'll keep it somewhat provisioned. Dijon will be a lower priority. These depots will remain a priority. I'm going to designate the one... Let's see, where do these units draw their supply from? Supply details. You draw your supply from... Saverne. Saverne, which is over here to the north. how about these forces in the south? I'm going to imagine they draw them from closer Epinal, which is actually over here. Okay, so I can reduce the priority over here dramatically, as they're not even drawing from it. Now, I believe it is the 8 key. So, when we press the 8 key, so the number 8, you can see the red lines donate where supply is being sent from depots to the actual units. White lines represent supplies being sent, well, freight being sent from depots to other depots. So we can see that this really allows us to effectively see our logistics network at a glance and see what's going on here. See where the most important depots are, indeed. So we are drawing a lot from this one over in the north, which is interesting because it's actually set to 0. I might have actually screwed myself on that one. I'm going to set this to a level 4 priority because apparently we are drawing a lot from that area. Not even so much from over here to March, March, I don't know how you would pronounce that, and I apologize. I'm going to increase the priority to Luxembourg and to the south here too, at Metz. Okay, we're going to build up for an offensive in the south, really. Ideally, we're going to throw our supplies and our logistics towards the front lines, where they're going to be needed. So, these areas over here, lower level of supply is required, as we're not really doing much in this area. Okay, so, how is everybody doing today? I'd love to hear how you're going. In the UK at the moment, it's bloody sunny, and it's not looking like it's going to be stopping anytime soon. I mean, trust me, I've been working on a conservatory for the last 3 days, and it is plumbing warm. My sunburn can attest to that. I don't know, I'm like a slice of bacon at the moment. I'm like kind of pale in some areas where it's not cooked and kind of overdone in some other areas. There's not much that is rather perfect here. Okay, let's see. I'd like to take a look at the actual naval infrastructure, at least the port infrastructure over here. Level 2 port. Do we have a larger port? Antwerp is a level 9. I'm going to actually make this a higher priority. Okay. If you well, if you retreat across the river and then defend the far bank, it would be a lot harder for the enemy to cross. Indeed. Right, so we've changed the priority of a bunch of depots here. That's going to result in more supplies being sent towards the front lines, which is where we need them. Fantastic. Let's lower the priority of these ones. We'll be done shortly and ready to get right into things. The reason I'm doing this is because I want these supplies to flow to where they're actually needed. Yeah, heat wave here. Yeah, that heat wave is absolutely brutal. Actually, let's lower these to a level 2 priority. Make sure these supplies get to the front line. Okay. So we can see our logistics network at play. We can see where we're drawing our supplies from and where our supplies are going. So that's made things a little bit easier to understand. Now we do have this rail line over here which we do need to connect to the main line. You can see here that, let's bring that back up. So these green lines here, with the dots across them, they're basically fixed and they're operational, but they're not connected to the main network. Red donates the fact that it's either broken and, yeah, just not usable, so we need to repair these rail lines. So in fairness, I can move this formation over here, but I will do that afterwards as a last part of a turn. Send the heat this way. Okay. Right. So we can see that we aren't receiving the amount of supplies that we need. We have enough supplies in our units for the time being. I assume you can use your air force to bomb supply depots and disrupt supplies. We can interdict these supply lines to a good degree. It's not as effective as I would have liked, but it can be done. It depends on how much power you put behind it, how much force, how many numbers you put behind it. We don't have an... Well, we do have a practically infinite production. We just don't have a practically infinite amount of planes on the field and ready to go. Speaking of our air force... Whoops, no. We do have the vast majority of them in the north. In fact, the large majority. At the end of the day, I've sacrificed itself in terms of air capability. Though the vast majority of the Luftwaffe is based over here in the north, I'm supporting my forces over here. I do have all these planes over here as well that I will move out in the future. Mostly as we do have a lot of sky trains, which are very handy. In fact, let's see. I'm going to select them all and I'm going to move them. Though I will move them afterwards, I want to make sure if I can drop airborne troops this time. Okay, so we identified our main points of focus over here. So we have the 26th Volksgrenadier Division. They are going to be entrenched, I imagine. Actually, no entrenchment. Fantastic. Okay. We do have a level 1 fortification over here. So we have the 757th Infantry Regiment, we have the 361st Volksgrenadier Division, and the 21st Panzer Division. To the north, we have a element of the 5th Volksgrenadier Division, and then the 1st SS Panzer Division. Is this the 5th Volksgrenadier? Yes, the 5th Volksgrenadier. 79th Volksgrenadier. 183 Panzer Grenadier. Sorry, Infantry Division. Okay. War of the Pacific is definitely a great game. I've been in talks with Matrix. We might be considering doing a War of the Pacific project in the future, so you guys, if you want to see something like that, do comment on the video down below. Whether it's on Twitch, whether it's on YouTube, and let Matrix know you want to see that. And let Matrix know you want to see me doing that, because you know what? I love doing this. Really am enjoying this. I hope you guys are as well. There we go. Okay. Now, we do have a bunch of force over here. We do actually have an armor division that is actually rather lacking. Let's see. Yeah, the actual 60th armor division is rather a pale comparison to its former strength. We do need to see some reinforcements in here. Okay. What I can do to strengthen this up a little bit further is I could assign some new support units. So let's see, I can put some new armor in here. I'm going to take this from the 12th US Corps, though actually I think I'd rather have it elsewhere. So let's draw upon some engineers, for example. We'll bring in some combat engineers. I don't have a huge amount of extra support, actually, now that I think about it. I'll draw upon the self-propelled artillery, and we'll take a US cavalry group, so some extra armor. So you can see here, with this 2nd US cavalry group, we have some M8 Greyhounds, we have a scout section, and some Stuarts. Not a huge amount, only a small group of them, not massively powerful. Though from the self-propelled, we do have some M7 105mm. Yeah, these howitzers are freaking great. They're going to be very handy. And then from the combat engineers, we have obviously combat engineer squad. They're armed with bazookas, 50 cal heavy machine guns, 30 cals, and obviously their support elements. Yeah, so many unused engineers. Well, they do have use as they go to these core headquarters, or at least they more or less do. I might have to send them out to different areas. Okay. So, something I do want to take a look at is our production. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn production filter on here. I'm going to put it into types so we can see the different types here. All pools, active pools. So this is what's active in the game right now. What we're going to do is going to take a look at the transit. Now, transit pools basically, it shows you what is in... It's been produced, it hasn't quite reached the front lines, but it's on its way. That's basically what it shows off. So you can see that we do have, let's see, a bunch of Shermans on their way. Yeah, you can see here that we lost a lot of our airborne with the loss of the 101st Airborne Division. They should be reconstituted in the future, but we'll have to see about that. Now, what we can do here is we can go over to the Commander's Report here. And if we take a look at equipment, perhaps. So, let's see. Looking for US. Right, there we go, US. I actually could just put that on. Okay, fair enough. Right. Flamethrower team. Okay. Let's take a look at units then. Actually, no, a much easier method is by going through production, for example. As you can see here, the units that they're actually in. So I'm going to hide that. Actually, no, put types back on. Let's just have all pools here. So what I'm going to be looking for then is mostly... Let's see. So we have heavy tanks over here. Now, these Pershings aren't actually in any units as of this moment in time. They will be headed out shortly, but let's see. First year 1944, 11th. Okay, so it's not going to be long until we start seeing Pershings on the front lines. These are going to be some decently armored tanks to use. What I'm looking for mostly, though, is our jumbos. Let's see. Heavy artillery. Heavy artillery would be quite handy, actually. We do have a close support tank, which is using the 105mm, which is a very effective weapon, I can tell you that. I'm trying to find my jumbos. Where are they? Right. Heavy tank, assault tank. Right, yeah, here we go. We have the Sherman. XTRG versus Agrippa's attack, Macentius. You know, that'd be really good. I'll have to get in contact with him and Matrix and try and make that happen. I'm sure he'd love it. I freaking would love it too. Right, so we only have that in one unit at the moment. So that's in the 5th US Corps. Let's bring them up here. So, how many of these bad boys do we have? We only have about 3 of them. Not a huge amount. One of them is damaged. So let's see. You're in this corps at the moment. I'd like to have you reassigned, ideally. So let's go to the 5th US Corps. Let's go to its actual assignments. Which tank platoon was that? Battalion, sorry. Okay, you have some jumbos too. Okay, so the 761st, along with, yeah, the 740th. Those are the guys that we want to reassign. So I'm going to take them to another command. So we are currently running with the 12th US Corps. So I'm going to have them transferred to the 12th US. I'm going to go back to the 5th. I'm going to transfer the forces to the 12th US Corps. There we go. So what we've done here is we've actually moved these forces down here to the south. So I'm looking for the 12th US Corps. Where are we? Okay, so we have the 12th US. You can see here that we have these new tank battalions, which are going to be really, really handy. Though we have a 740th, I might have accidentally assigned the other one to a different headquarters by mistake. Yeah, we are going to be up against Koenig's Tigers. We really are going to be up against King Tigers. We're going to be up against Panthers. We're not in a easy battle here. This is a very difficult phase. Right, so let's see. 3rd US Corps. Okie dokie. Let's get some support in here. Throw some artillery in here. So we're going to take this from Supreme Command. I'm going to throw in the heavier artillery. Okay, so you can see the amount of guns is going to rapidly increase here. Yeah, I have a lot of Warner Pacific on my actual channel. I would recommend the latest series, as that has a lot of actually, well, much better content. Hello there, Newhauser. How are you doing, my friend? Right, so we've assigned a phenomenal degree of 155 guns over here. That is actually a huge degree. I'm going to put some combat engineers in here. Okay, right, the Chemical Mortar Brigade, sorry, Battalion. Let's take a look at that. So 4.2-inch mortars. Interesting, seems they're playing dirty. Oh, you're in the office. Awesome, dude. I hope you're having a good day at work. Okay, so that's a lot of artillery. That's a hell of a lot of artillery. The reason why we're putting so much artillery into this location is we're going to try and force the issue. Chemical mortars are the US designation for heavy mortars. Ah, right, interesting. I suppose it's a chemical reaction that fires off the, well, a propellant, I suppose. Okay, how many M36s, if any, do you have available? Let's take a look for the M36. The M36, somebody give me a... Where are we? Let's see. Production filter off. What we can do is, let's take a look at the commander's report. Equipment. And I'm going to go to Allied right then. Looking for the M36. M3s? You sorry there for a second? Okay. We'll go back to production then. I assume it's a tank? Okay. Currently looking for the M36. Yeah, Angemina. I may be just blind here. Either way, we'll find it. Oh, is it a tank destroyer? Oh, the M36 Wolverine. Is that it, the Wolverine? Let's see. Alright, I think I'll know what to be looking for right now. Okay. Let's see. Medium tank. I'll look for my tank destroyers. Yeah, there we go, the M36. So we are using the 90mm variant, and yeah, there's a heck of a lot of them. So at the moment, total numbers. Yeah, I am blind, don't worry about that one. Okay, so we have a good few of them. Well, I'd say a few hundred. That is a lot of them, and they are very, very handy little vehicles. Okay. Right then, so we're going to choose our point of breakthrough. And that will ideally be here. I am considering this position here. Mostly because it's defended by the 183rd Volks Grenadier Division. And if we take a look, I mean, we are going to be... Let's take a look here. Now, they do have a river position. Let's take a closer look. There's snow on the ground. We have snowfall. Yeah, snow is quite bad here. How about here? Okay. So the snow will be bad no matter which way we go. This one's closer to our objective, so I will go with this location. Though our forces are further away, so this makes things a little bit more difficult. So we have the 6th Cavalry Group, the 3rd Cavalry Group, and the 14th US Armored Division, which is actually quite weakened. It's not much stronger than an actual cavalry group at the moment. So we have the 12th and we have the 4th. They have been hard pressed. They're a little bit... Yeah, they're in rough shape at the moment. What I might do is hold the armoured forces back for the time being, unless we have a good point of exploitation. Let's see what we can throw here then. I have the 87th Division and the 35th Division. We could... Let's see, what can we draw away from the front to the south? Not a huge deal of force. I could move the 3rd US Army Command closer to the front line. Right, this command definitely needs to be moved closer to the front line. Okay. I could move a division here. I don't think we'd have the combat capability to actually punch through. So I think this location might be the one that we actually managed to break through in the end. Let's see. So I hope you guys are having a great evening, or afternoon where you are. I'd love to hear how your days have gone. Also, I'd love to hear what you think. I've recently purchased a book from Adam Tooze, I believe it is, Wages of Destruction. I've not yet started reading it. I'd love to know if anybody's familiar with it. It's basically to do with Reich economics, production, etc., etc. Something I'm really quite interested in. Okay, let's see. I could potentially break through here. What do I have in support? I have those armoured forces. I'm going to draw upon the divisions here. So I'm going to move the 103rd US Infantry Division. I'm going to move it over this direction. We're going to use both divisions in coordination. Let's see. Where is your actual corresponding command? Your corresponding command is over here. Okay, there we go. Oh, you recommend it? One of the best books. That's rather interesting. Huh. I'll have to definitely get round to reading that then. I saw it, and you know what? I love the front cover. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. Right, fantastic. The 26th Volks Grenadier Division has been pushed away from the front lines. We do have some good movement here to follow this up. Now, let's see. I don't have anywhere near enough offensive firepower, well, offensive power to break through here. But this is going to work out fine. Now, the Armour Division could make a run here, but that's not great. What I'm going to do then is I'm going to use... Let's see, what do I have to push through that gap? The infantry can't push through the gap at the moment due to the amount of movement points from the different zones of control. There's a new book by Rhine that takes some of the arguments further in different directions. You know what? I'd love to see that. Rise and Fall of the Third Reich. You know what? Let's get some book recommendations going here, guys. I'd love to read as much as I can, so please give me your recommendations on Reich economics. I'd love to find out more. I have been reading, is it James Holland? I don't think it's James Holland. Is it Tom Holland? I can't remember if it's even a Holland. I think Tom Holland wrote quite a few novels on late antiquity. Well, books on late antiquity. Is it James Holland? I think it's James Holland, and he's War in the West. That's quite an interesting read. Okie dokie. We might have a shot at taking this force out, but I'd rather not do that. Okay, so let's take a look at this then. We don't have much to work with. I could push new divisions here, so we could break through here, which in fact might be the way to go. It's going to be painful. I do not doubt that for the slightest moment. Okay, we are going to sacrifice our defense to the south for the time being to gain a shot at pushing these forces back here. Okay. Free French. Right then. Italy's sorrow. That sounds really interesting. Now, I do apologise if I'm missing your comments in the chat. It's going by pretty quickly. You know what? I've actually read Clash of Titans. What else? Is that David M. Glant? David M. Glant is a really good author to read up on. Okay, so let's take a look then. So we have 12... Right, okay. 10... 15... This is not too bad, actually. 20. We might have a shot of this. What I might do then is actually throw some further supporting forces. Let's make sure we have all of our headquarters nearby to make sure we're well supported in our attack here. I do have another division I can potentially throw into this, but they can't quite reach it. Okay, James Holland. I thought it was. I was thinking Tom Holland, but he's also a good author. Right, so what we'll do then is we'll advance. And let's take a look. I could hit this unit, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for a full-on attack here. Let's make sure that we have all the corresponding US corps nearby, corps command, and make sure we have the most amount of support available to us. Right, your command is over here to the south. Actually, no, it's over there. Right, fantastic. Select all of these forces. We're going to go for a full planned attack. Oof, they just managed to hold out there. Right, let's see. What can I throw at them again? Practically nothing, but that position is extremely weakened. I'm going to go for a hasty attack just enough just to see what we're sort of dealing with here. Okay, not a huge amount, just under 10,000 men. Though they do seem to actually... Is that my own defense? Okay, that's my own forces. Yeah, so just over 10,000 men. They're in a well-defended position, which is going to make things a little bit more difficult here. So let's take a look at the fortifications. So yeah, level 3 fortifications. Okay. Oh boy. You know what, has any of you guys read Absolute War? I can't remember the author. Is it... Yeah, I can't recall the name of the author, but Absolute War is a really good book. I've also read War Without Garlands by Robert Kershaw. I quite like that book, very good, very informative. It's always great to take a look at for different novels, different books. Okay. Right then, let's see. Hello there, John Kaminsky. I would probably message that in the chat, as I have no idea how these SIF points work. I don't even know what SLIFs are, SIFs. I've honestly no idea. Okay, honestly, if somebody could tell me what they are, that'd be fantastic. I'm a little bit out of the know at the moment. Okay, let's see what we have available to us then. Do we try to push through here and lose a lot of our movement? I could push here, and let's see, what do we have available? I do have another US armored force. Let's go for that then. Do we have the capability to go for a full-on attack? I could with this formation, so I'm going to do that. Right, 500. We might be able to pull off a hasty attack with all 3 divisions. In fact, no, we have 760 armored fighter vehicles to our name, and we do not pull it off. So that shows you just how strong that defensive position is at the moment. Okay, so we haven't achieved the breakthrough that we wanted, but I am going to give it another go. 300. Once more. 750. Okay, so we have taken large AV losses in this location here. Okay. Ah, Chris Bellamy, I thought it would be. I completely forgot, to be honest, so thank you for letting me know. Great author, really enjoyed that novel. I'm just gonna I keep calling it novels, but you know what I mean. Right, so we have the 6 US Cavalry. We need to make use of them. Let's move our divisions over here. What do we have available to us? So we have 13. We may just have enough firepower to break through. We do indeed. Okay. Now this is going to make things interesting. What we're going to do then is we're going to surge through the gap here with our armoured forces. Yeah, with the Division 2. Let's see. Right, these guys are actually classed as unready. This means that they've taken some significant losses. Yeah. Very, very significant losses here. Okay. Not the greatest situation that we want to be in here. At the end of the day, those forces are going to be there. They're hopefully going to be able to commit to a defense if needed. The brave rifles indeed. Right, let's see. Do we go for a hasty attack against this force over here to the north? We actually can't manage that. What I'm going to do then is I'm actually going to fill this gap. Let's see. I'm going to break this unit up. There we go. I'm going to put this one just here and have that on reserve for the time being. Okay, so things are going relatively well. Getting those cavalry groups into trouble, definitely. I mean, what were their purpose? I mean, it's the issue of they're very lightly armed, I suppose. Let's take a look at their actual table of equipment here. So at the most, they have armored cars, reconnaissance, self-propelled infantry guns, light tanks. Their actual is, yeah, they're only carrying Stuarts. These things are just, they're really just paper. We compare that to a US armored division table of equipment. You can see here that light tanks 51. Let's compare that to the number of actual. So let's see, 27, 36 at the most. So in reality, these cavalry groups really aren't that well armed. They do have light tanks. They're more so, I suppose, for maneuvers, but yeah, they're good at moving fast. They're not good at much else other than that. Now, we do have a full division over here. We could potentially punch through this location here, which is actually a good idea now that I consider this. Right, I don't have huge amounts of infantry power in this area. I need to consolidate it and make it usable. Okay. The cavalry groups were designed for the reconnaissance based on pre-war mindset when light tanks and some wheels are enough to do reconnaissance work. But reality basically show that reconnaissance units tend to get into the thicker combat. Yeah, they tend to find the enemy. Shockingly, I know. Shocking. Right, let's see what I can send over here to support our attack, should we plan one. Which we are going to. The 63rd Division is able to enter the fray. I'm also going to pull... We do have this element of the US Armored Division, so 11th US Armored. Are you actually part of one? Doesn't seem so. Okay, yeah. Find the enemy and die. We do have some jumbos in here, so that's actually really good to commit to the battle. So we'll move you over here then. Okay. I am going to commit all but the armored. Yeah, we should be able to break through without the need to use the armored. I say that and I am sadly mistaken. Right, we'll throw in everything we can. Do we have that capability? Right. We do have air support, but it's nowhere near enough. Actually, that was a defender. Okay. So yeah, we cannot actually break through here at the moment. Which is actually rather surprising. I didn't think we'd have that issue. Let's see. 16. I'm half tempted to launch an attack just on this armor division, the 130th Panzer Division, basically to weaken it. That would be a nice thing to do, but we need to hold our strength together. Okay. The German Pumas tended to get shot to pieces. The Pumas, though, are just awesome looking pieces of machinery. I think they are fantastic. I love the look of those things. Okay. Let's see then. So in the north, with the British, we need to make use of them. I'm going to draw the British forces into an armoured lance. And we need to throw it against this position. This position is vital, and it's so weakly held, it actually shocks me. Right, I could throw this US cavalry group over that way. I could throw, potentially, a division. A division could make all but the difference. So I'm going to consider that. Unless I have anything nearby, closer, that has that capability. It doesn't seem so. I could move the 14th US Cavalry Group along with this division, the 9th US Division, and we might have a throw of the dice. So we are going to go for that. We are going to try and throw these dice and see what we have available to us. Okay, so I could pull off a Hasty Attack, which I'm actually going to do. Right, 13, nowhere near enough. We might be able to do it with this. Yes, we do. That's great news. Okay, we're going to move up the cavalry. Oh, we actually don't have that movement. Oh, we don't have the movement to follow up. Well, that's fine. It's not a great result, but you know what? That's fine by me. I am in a very precarious position over here. My flank is very weakly held. Let's see. 5th US Corps. I need to move these guys out. Okay. Right then. You're welcome there. I hope you enjoyed that, John. Yeah, indeed, sent a bunch of interdiction. The SS counter-push now could be painful for that salient of yours. Yeah, that's definitely true. I do have 2 infantry divisions here just to hold my lines together for the time being, but it's not the safest position right now. We do need to concentrate the British armoured forces against somewhere. I know that sounds rather obvious, but we need to find an actual good spot for that. I do have British commandos that are needed to be put into action. Let's see. The forces over here that we are facing in the north are very difficult. Yeah, they're close to being out of supply. They are receiving supply, but not a huge amount. They do have fuel enough for an attack. These forces do have a good amount. Ammunition, they're actually stocked up. So these forces are definitely dangerous. Yeah, the Commonwealth forces do not have a lot of reserves. I mean, these armoured forces to the north are fantastic. And in reality, we are facing a huge amount of force in the north. I really would struggle against if we were to lose this. I mean, these Panzer Grenadiers, these SS Panzer Divisions, they're going to be more nasty forces. I mean, we have armoured over this way. I could potentially consider drawing back our forces over here, but I don't think it's a good idea for that at the moment. The 1-3. Let's see. Okay. I might draw them into the corresponding command so we can have them ready to pounce. I mean, if I could break through this line over here, I could push into 2 cities and actually threaten the important cities over here. These are incredibly important. I mean, Essen's huge. We could threaten it and honestly make it pretty rough. Okay. Let's see. Other than that, we don't have a huge amount of other options. I think the key is getting some pressure on the Germans in the north for the Bulge. Very true, very true. The issue is where? I'm reluctant to attack across rivers, though I will consider it. I mean, the best position would be here, potentially. Let's take a look at the fortifications. So level 3 across the borders we could expect. We do have clear terrain over here. We do have a little bit less snowfall than we do to the south. Let's take a look at the actual German forces here then. So, ammunition's actually very low. Is that, right, the fortified zone. So that's practically out of ammunition. These guys are good to go. Let's see. Morale is fairly low here, that's good. Right, is this experience? Right, so experience is lower here too. So I think this is probably a good position to go for. Right. Yeah, they do have a lot of high combat value, so I think what we are going to do is we are going to concentrate on attack here. Let's see. That would be a dangerous position to actually draw them out. I mean, these forces are really well armoured. Well, really well equipped. I do have British forces to the south. I reckon we can actually do this. Okay, so what we're going to do here then is I'm going to break up these other forces. Let's see. Break you up. And move you here to the north. I'm going to move... Whoops. I'm going to move 2 of these forces here. Because that is a vital airfield. Yeah, if he pulls the Canadians out, the Germans can also pull units off. That's very true. I mean, that's a lot more Germans to my actual Canadian forces than Commonwealth forces. So that's something that we do have to really bear in mind. Okay, so these forces that are attacking out under this command, where is your command? Your command is here. Okay, let's see. I need to make sure that they actually have engineers. So I'm going to personally equip each of these units with engineers, if I can do. We do have motorized infantry, actually, which is quite nice. Okay, engineers. We'll throw a element of armoured in there. There we go. That's a lot of armoured forces too. Right, engineers. Eyes and ears. Some anti-tank. The actual armoured itself definitely needs engineers. Throw some self-propelled in there. Right, engineers. Heavy artillery, sorry, heavy AA. So we have the 3.7s. They might be usable against the ground. We'll see how we go. Okay. This is a location we need to hit. Let's equip these guys with some engineers too. With the combat engineers, we shouldn't have such a difficulty crossing the river. I mean, we're still going to have difficulties, but nowhere near as bad, which is going to be very nice. Okay, let's see what we can throw here. I'm not going to use the armor, I need to preserve the armor's strength. So we have 10, 6, 8, 8. That might be sufficient about that. I've been more worried about the north side of your northern push than pushing from the southern side. Yeah, that's very true. I mean, they do have a lot of force over here. What it means is Panzer Grenadier Division, along with these SS Panzer Division, they could smash through here potentially and really, really throw me into disarray. And that is something that we do have to take into consideration. That's a very real and very scary possibility. I could throw the armor in here to make sure that we succeed here. And you know what? In fact, I will do. It's a big usage of armoured forces, but if it does mean we break through, then it is worthwhile. Right, we force them to retreat. Let's take a look at that actual battle here. So, the battle on the ground. Let's take a look. So, we lost 433 men. We actually took very light losses here. We had an overwhelming concentration of artillery. We actually broke through here very, very nicely. Let's see, ground combat. Okay. Yeah, they had no AFVs. And you take a look at these numbers. These were just huge numbers. I mean, we threw 106 Sherman 3s. We threw a good number of Churchills. These Churchills are quite nice. I do like the Churchills. There's something really... just, I don't know. It's just something beautiful about them that I absolutely adore. Really beautiful tanks. Slow. Slow as hell, but you know what? I love those. Okay. So we do have that to exploit now, which is great news. The armoured forces can't cross. These forces can't. The Canadian forces cannot. The armoured could cross the river. And they will. Okay. What can I send to support them? Actually, that's a bad idea. Let's move you to the supply. Right, okay, this is pretty good. Let's see what we can do with these guys. I could go for a full attack, and I will do. I like the Churchills. Okay, we were stopped right there. We were stopped dead in our tracks. So we can't push through this force over here for the time being. Okay, but you know what? Things are going fairly well. Right, this doesn't look like it's going to fall anytime soon, even though they are most definitely starved. Now, we do have a 10th Free French force over here that has just arrived. So we are going to send them to the south and see where we can use them. I'm going to look for these vital locations, the actual vitals that we need to strike into the heart of. We will have it strengthened over here. Mostly as I can draw more American forces to the north then. So we'll have them assigned to the 2nd Free French Corps. And there we go. Okay, now this force over here. You are infantry. US infantry. Let's see. Okay, we have a division here too. I'm going to send these guys to the north end, plug this gap, shorten their logistics too. There we go. Ride that division. Fantastic. We'll have them swap commands. Unfortunately for us, de Gaulle decided colonial troops weren't good enough to push into Germany. French first time struggled around Colmar. I can see his reasoning. At the end of the day, I suppose it was basically France is being liberated by the French. Huge need for recognition, popularity there. Okay, so I can't believe how much time has gone by. But you know what, I've enjoyed this. I think we've done a lot so far, so let's go ahead and see the next turn. Now, we do have potential to throw airborne forces into the mix, but I'm going to wait for that. So in fact, what I will do then is actually transfer our transport. So let's go by aircraft type, let's go to transport. We do have a lot of them. I'd like to make use of that. Okay. Are you using a mod, by the way? The top right corner looks different. Yep, I'm using a mod. It makes it look like the War in the East UI. You can find it on the forum. It's very accessible. I would recommend it. I think it adds a lot. Okay, so what are our airborne forces? They're over here. Okay, so I'm going to transfer them to that area. Okay, we have them selected. Have you established interdiction? Not as of yet. We will do in the following air phase as we have more to do. Where were they? Were they over here? I think they're about here. I forgot. Okay. In fairness, I could... You know what? Actually, let's see. Let's drop some freight into this. We're going to drop freight to, let's see, where do we have a large airfield? I'm looking for one closer to the front lines. We could drop at Aachen. Aachen might be a very good idea. We could drop at Luxembourg. I might drop at Aachen. We do have to worry about interdiction. Okay, I'm going to take a risk and drop at Aachen. Right. We're throwing everything in here. I want to get a good amount of supply here. So 2,194 tons of freight. 786 tons of freight. 246 tons of freight. 174. Okay, so we moved well over 2,000 tons of supply there. You can see, well, we can't see it at the moment, but that will be going into these actual commands here. So we have the 9th US Army, which actually has a good amount of supply. They should be able to pass that out. Okay, superb. Absolutely superb. Oh, right, let's create a depot here. No wonder we weren't stockpiling it. Okay, so we have a new depot there. Superb. Let's take a look, actually. Do I have a depot here? Yes, we do. We need a depot further up here. Can I establish a depot? Not yet. I guess that's because it's not connected to the actual rail network. Okay, so what we need to do then before the end of the turn is we need to repair these rail lines. So I'm going to get that one out of the way. Okay. And to the north. And finally over here, if you can manage it. No, next turn, that's fine. Right, awesome. So we've fixed these rail lines, so this rail network will be connected up. And from the following phase, we will be receiving a great amount of supplies. So, here we go, ladies and gentlemen, into the following turn. I do wonder what we're going to see here. Let's hope that these things go well. We'll find out shortly. And the Luftwaffe is really struggling. They don't have a huge amount of numbers, so they can't commit to much. They can only really commit to single objectives. Then we'll see how the turn flows. I really do want the... Whoa! Ho ho ho! Okay! Wow! Holy moly, we just got destroyed there. That is a catastrophic defeat there. Bloody hell, 184,513 troops, 2,829 pieces of artillery, 1,259 pieces of armour. Those are some significant numbers here, ladies and gentlemen. We lost almost a third of our force. Yes, the armoured divisions here were completely smacked. Those are some massive losses. And we've been repelled down here to the south as well. The Germans are... Yeah, I would actually be sacked from my command for that. Those are some significant numbers there, ladies and gentlemen. God damn. Those were some sufficiently large numbers to really force us back. You know what? I'm happy about that. I'm actually glad to see that the Germans do have that bite in them. Okay. You know what? I was not expecting that. That was actually really, really interesting. And you know what? I think that's where this is really starting to spice up. Pack your bags, we're leaving Europe, boys. That's a lot of bloody armoured fighting vehicles I just lost there. A hell of a lot. Look at that. Absolutely huge. And you take a look at this. The Axis have lost 347 armoured fighting vehicles in total. We've lost 2,206. That one battle has legitimately cost the Allied war effort significantly. Bloody hell. The Battle of Wolfpack. 872 losses. That is phenomenal. We just had no chance. We just absolutely had no chance. As a multi-vector attack, that just had so much. We had the 2nd SS Panzer, 9th SS Panzer, the 276th Volksgrenadier Division, the 11th Panzer Division, 21st Panzer Division, the 17th SS Panzer Grenadier Division. We've Stugs, Volksgrenadier Stugs. We had the 277th Volksgrenadier Division, the 3rd Volksgrenadier Division, the 347th, the 8th Volksgrenadier Division. We have an element of another 2nd Volksgrenadier Division. The bloody Führer Panzer Grenadier Brigade. Another element of a Volksgrenadier Division. Bloody hell. Let's take a look at this then. So we've lost... I mean, these are only damaged. So let's take a look at actual... Right, so destroyed, damaged. Okay. Bloody hell. So 22 were damaged, 22 destroyed outright, then it would seem. Indeed, 22 damaged. Oh, I wouldn't be getting a call from Eisenhower, I'd be getting a call directly from the President. And from the British Prime Minister. He would not stand. Those are some immense losses. Yeah, looks like the Germans were able to form up all their reserves to smack you around. Definitely. Yeah, Eisenhower has been gone. Probably for good reason. Okay, let's take a look at this. This is just phenomenal. The Germans threw so much into this. And they took very little losses. They really did a great number here. Yeah, that made Operation Market Garden look like a light skirmish. Bloody hell. Let's take a look at this then. So the aftermath, we are in a state of shock. I mean, the Germans have thrown a lot into their basket there. Let's take a look. And what's their supply like now? Let's take a quick look at that, shall we? Supplies, they're alright. You know, I'm quite happy I didn't throw my air bomb behind those lines at this turn. They've actually widened this. They've actually saved the situation for the time. And in fact, what might have been a possibility is looking like something of a forlorn desire, really. We may not even be able to pocket these forces here. This is a difficult situation to swallow. Yeah, the German forces have rapidly redeployed, and they've actually... I mean, we could break through here if needs be. That could be done. It wouldn't really gain as much. We do need a breakthrough. We do need to take Trier. Trier is going to be the way forward. They've reconnected their rail lines here, so if we need to do something, it needs to be over here to the north. They're going to be able to resupply through the Koblenz rail line to the north, just south of Bonn, and then onwards over to here. This is the pivotal location. We must take it. What do we have available to us then? So the 7th US Armoured has been absolutely smacked around. They could do with some rebuilding. These forces are looking pretty light on their feet. We do need to potentially even use the British forces to the north to actually break some of this pressure off. But we will use our airborne forces, our air forces here. Right. Yeah, the US Army in World War II is not afraid to sack commanders. Definitely. Okay, so let's take a look at this then. I think we're going to have to go for ground attacks potentially, or interdiction. Interdiction probably is the best way forward. If we hurt their supplies, that's going to hurt them on the ground. Okay, so we do have ground attack set up in this location for the time being. It isn't active as of this moment due to this. So what we're going to do here is we're actually going to, I think... Right, okay, let's take a look. Ground attack, going to cancel. We do have ground support with a good amount of aircraft. I'm going to keep that on for the time being. Reconnaissance, we do have it in this area. What we're going to do then is we're going to change our area to just over here. So the Battle of Wolfpack. What a great name. Not going to lie, it's a great name. Let's make Wolfpack great again. No, it sounds great, just rolls off the tongue. I'm going to roll with that. Wolfpack. Okay, great amount of reconnaissance aircraft here. That's going to be great. Okay, set doctrine, yes. Correct. Right. Now, the Germans may actually throw you back, having basically sacked 3 of your armor divisions. Very true. The bright side, as you said, the bright side of this is that they basically didn't try for any envelopment, went strength against strength. It also means they've concentrated their best SS forces and Jaegers in one place. So let's take a look at this then. So let's figure this out. We do need more reconnaissance in this area, but if we bring back up the drawing tool, we suffered a massive defeat here. We were thrown back over here, but that's not much of an issue. I can advance backwards, well, back again. XTRG, it is now. You know, I'd love that. I'd love the challenge. So we can imagine that the vast majority of their SS Panzer forces are potentially in this location. Though I'm not even too sure of that one. It depends really on their movement. The main thing here is we need to break their movement capabilities. I'm actually somewhat considering throwing my air power against these cores to really hurt them, but I think it is going to be down here. I mean, this is it. This pocket isn't... I mean, this is it. We are the Bulge now. And this is not good. We are in danger here. All it would take is the SS army to push through this location and to push on us from the north, and this would be it. That force would be just gone. Things are looking somewhat dangerous at the moment. It might be time to drop a US armored division behind enemy lines. Sorry, airborne division behind enemy lines to try to link up with that. So we'll take that into consideration. But I think we need to direct our air power against these locations. I think... probably the best bet would be... really, it depends. Yeah, these forces were really pushed to the limit. We're going to have to reform them. So refit. Yeah, depleted, refit. They have surrendered a good position here. These positions aren't too strong at the moment. Do the Germans have enough supply to push forwards? Potentially so. Potentially so. Broad front strategy, make sure they can't redeploy. Definitely worried about my Bulge. Definitely worried about my Bulge. I do not want a German attacking my Bulge. Okay. I mean, it's pretty much on par here. It's a developing situation. I was keen to try and play this as a war maneuverability, but you know what, these Germans are actually putting up a good, strong defense here. So I favour potentially going through the... well, actually, you know what? It seems the rivers are actually frozen now. Yeah, we can see ice of the rivers. That's going to change the game. That changes things significantly. And let's take a look at the weather here. So on the ground, yeah, we have snow. In the air, as you can imagine, it's actually clear, maybe with some snowfall. Let's take a look at the weather next week. Okay, high pressure, low pressure. Yeah, the ground's going to be solid. Okay. By the way, we are in 1945. Just wanted to point that one out. We need to break them. And I think we'll break them here. Though it might be worthwhile here. We do have the 11th Panzer Division. We have the 9th SS Panzer Division. Right. 21st. 2nd. Right, Panzergrenadiers, the Panzergrenadier division here, and the Panzerlehr division. How accurate are the weather predictions? It's pretty much the prevailing weather of the time at that time in history. Well, at least that point. So, I think it's fairly accurate. Okay. Or at least it's pretty much concise and actual weather on the day, I guess. Okay, let's see. Ground attack. I'm going to hit this area here, I think, pretty hard. I think that's what we need to do. I don't have the strength in where I need it, really. But if we hit here, this is going to be good. I could potentially hit here. Though, you know what? Actually, I think this is probably the best. Okay, yeah, this is actually a really good idea. You know what? They might have left themselves open to the Fall of Cologne. Let's explore that possibility then, shall we? Ground attack. Right, 1. Let's make that 2. Actually, no, let's keep it to 1. Change the hex to here. Okay, that's going to gain me quite a bit. Is there a regular paratrooper division? Yeah, there's a regular paratrooper division too. We have lost the 101st as it was destroyed. Potentially 2 might... Yeah, 2 will do it, which is great. Okay, so we're going to just put that hex over here, target this area. I need to make this high intensity. I need to throw everything I can into this. We do have our fighter bombers here. These guys are inactive. But I'll add them over here anyway, just so then when they are active, they will be already in here. Right. Let's see. Let's take a look at these. Right. Fly in all conditions. Okay, they're going to do that. Okay. Right. 0 automatic. What was that give me? How many airstrikes can I pull off per day? So I'm going to try 20 airstrikes per day, see how that goes ahead. Okay. Okay, confirm. Air directive confirmed. Commandant. Airborne planning. Where am I looking? Doctrine. Okay. Ground attack. Actually, ignore interdiction. Okay. What about the 82nd? Yep. An air drop around Bitburg did do some damage, but not a huge amount. Okay, so that's confirmed. Now the RAF Tactical Command. We need to make use of them. Now we do have reconnaissance and air support, so I'm going to change that over. We're going to really concentrate on this area here. Though actually I might have the... Yeah, you know what? Let's actually throw some reconnaissance on the ground here. Round about this area here to the north. Well, let's see. We'll throw about half our reconnaissance in this area. Right, okay, so this is pretty low intensity reconnaissance. Throw some escorts in there too. Okay, that should do alright. Okay, here's where we need to be concentrating on as well. Throw the rest in. Oh, whoops. There we go, 100 escorts. Send some stuff to interdiction. I could, but I don't think it's worthwhile. I need the air power in this area for the time being. Okay, make that 1 wide. Okay, concentrate in this area, confirm. Okay, now we are going to go for ground attack. Yeah, change that directive. Set it over to this location here. Actually, let's narrow it down further. High intensity. We'll throw what we have available. Fly in all weather. Right, altitude, we'll raise that to 20... No, to about 30,000 feet, man, if we can. No, 26,000 feet. Okay. Doctrine. There we go, high priority. Okay, so we have that set up for the time being. What difficulty are you playing on, by the way? We're playing on challenging difficulty. I'm actually wishing I put the challenge up even further. I'm loving this so far. Okay, so let's take a look at this then, guys. So we have our reconnaissance set up. I might want to actually move my reconnaissance a little bit further to the south. No, yeah, we'll keep it around this area, actually. We'll keep it there. Okay. So that is what we're going to be going with. We're going to be throwing the bulk of our air forces at this location. So we're going to execute our air directive and hope for the best. Right. We might consider dropping our airborne in the next turn. Okay. 1,253 sorties. Grand attack. Right, interdictions. Okay, they're pretty weak on the ground here. What is our reconnaissance level like? It's not great. We don't actually have that good of a reconnaissance. We could make our way towards Cologne. I think that is a possibility. I think the Germans in the area have kind of thrown their hand. I mean, we do have the 2nd SS Panzer Division, which is actually incredibly weak right now. So we do have to bear that in mind. We might be able to fold in on them here, which could be a very good option. But it would be a very difficult one. Right, so if we were to drop our units, we would drop over here. This is actually quite important. We might actually want to do that. We'll see how the situation ends up. I think we'll start in the south and make our way north. Okay, break up this French formation. Third, yeah, we have a division there. Second Moroccan. Okay. Right then. So if we take a look at this, let's bring up our drawing key. We can see we're going to identify really the German positions of strength. We're going to use that in, I don't know, we'll go for the red for non-movement. So this is a position of strength where they have a great amount of defensibility here as well. You draw things like this, it does make it significantly easier to see the situation on the ground as it happens. Okay, so these are the positions where they're strong. We're going to draw it in a blue now for their positions of weakness. Basically, think of it as chinks in the armor. Let's draw as position of weakness. Obviously not this one to south, but we'll draw it like that. Okay, actually I'm going to remove that one. Make it a little bit easier to focus. So if we go for a nice solid black line for a advance. So really what we have to consider is, do we push through here? Do we push through here? Or do we push here? We do have potential possibilities. What I want to do is I want to complete these link-ups here. And basically surround these forces. But that's not going to happen. We need to decide where we're going to be going. And in all honesty, the objective needs to be towards Koblenz. This is how we defeat the German Hydra. We need to get to that position. This is by far the weakest position. It is the one that we do need to worry about the most, though, due to the fact that this is zone of control. But if we can get around here, ideally cut off Trier. If we could cut Trier off like this, I think that would be the best situation. So let's see what we can make happen, gentlemen. Let's make this a reality. Okay. It's going to be difficult. I really don't have the armoured forces in the best position. I do the bottom two. You can use the supply path from the south to expedite the movement too. It's very true. I am interested in just cutting off Triad from the north. So we might be able to break out. Might be able to break through, I should say. It's a very risky proposition. Alright, 11, it's not really very close. It's a bit disconcerting when highlighted German position strength. You end up highlighted three-fourths of our line. Yeah, three-quarters of our line. Alright. Let's see what we can do. I need to break this position. What do we have in this position then? So we have Volksgrenadier divisions. A division and a brigade. Yeah, they have no fortifications here, which is something that we really do have to point out. So let's go for it. I'm going to throw the 95th along with the 90th Regiment into the fray. And they hold. That's really not good. Planned attack, and they hold. Okay. Bear in mind that is the weakest position. That's worrying. Almost made it. Okay. This is getting desperate. It's not like they have a lot of combat power. It is, it's difficult. It is difficult at the moment due to the fact that they are on the defensive and we are on the offensive. It is something that we do have to worry about. I think what we need to do is put holes in their lines and make them worried. We'll do that then. Good. And this is actually pretty important. We have taken a position with a supply depot, or potentially to be a supply depot. Okay, at least that is going to threaten these forces at the front a little bit more, so that's good news. Okay. This position's so close to breaking. I feel we have to go for broke somewhere. I mean, these are only single divisions holding us back. They will break in time. It's just difficult. I mean, if we take a look at our logistics then. You can see the logistics is flowing a little bit better. I mean, if we take a look at then our freight, let's see. So, 3rd US has received an increased amount of supply. Their supply need has increased as well. But at least that has gone up. 12 was it? Potentially. Okay. Yeah, so what we have to bet, yeah, 12 US Army Group. So we have increased the amount of supply flown to the front, but it isn't enough. Nowhere near enough. How much do we have here at Ethelbruck? A good amount of fuel, good amount of supply. Well, not really much in the way of supply. Better over here in terms of supply. We are not holding a goddamn thing, let the Germans do that. We're advancing constantly and we're not interested in holding on to anything except the enemy's balls. General pattern. Honestly, it's a really, really appropriate quote. It really does sum up the situation and just the mentality that we do need to have here. This is why we are trying to move consistently. Okay, speaking of that, I think we need to show the Germans a thing or two. And, you know, I think this is going to be in this location here. I think this is where we can make things happen. Where the magic is going to happen. Let's see. Can I break through here? Yes. They occupy Cologne, which is a issue. Let's see, can we... Let's see what we have here to the north. Right, we scouted them. I could push there. The armored could push up. If I push back the Jägers, that is going to help us out. Right, they do have some defense now. Okay, I could throw armored, but we'll see. I'm going to throw this US division. Okay, we do have a armor division here too. Is there only a regiment at Cologne? It seems there's in fact only a regiment at Cologne. The issue is I don't have them much force to move over here. But that is really promising. It's really quite promising. Hello there, Simon. How are you doing, my dude? Okay, so we need to break this. This is the weakest location we actually have facing us right now. Let's see. The ground is clear. Clear. And clear. And of course clear. We can break this. Okay. 2 forces should be enough to do that. When's Big Red 1 coming out? Let's see. We do have a full Jäger division here. And actually, you know what? This is actually a pivotal location. Okay, so let's take a look then. If we break this location here, that's going to cut off all of this supply to the south. Then we'll have to rely on this one supply line here. I might even consider dropping in airborne just to cut this rail line. So we'll consider that as a possibility. But this is where we need to break through. Okay, now this makes a lot more sense. I will keep them on reserve. Let's see. I'm actually considering bringing British forces in from the north to this area here, at least the armoured. It seems they are pulling back over here. Oh, there's a dev update. Fantastic. I'd love to find out myself about one of these two. And my access to the beta. Cough, cough, wink, wink. And nudge, nudge. Okay, I'm getting a little bit too excited. I need to simmer down. Okay, let's see. This is where we need to break them. And we fail. How about here? Love that taste of failure in the morning. Right, try again. We are getting closer. Oh, so close. Why not push with the British in the north instead to keep them on their heel? We could, it's just the issue of these rivers. We are going to be pushing this location, it's just going to be difficult, but we can push here, really. As we might be able to push on towards Essen. Who knows? Right, okay. That's going to be how we go about this. True, it is frozen, it's just the defensive positions are still rough. We can move across it, which is lovely. But we'll still have to deal with this onslaught to come. Okay, so we can break this position easy enough. There we go. Can't break that to south as of yet. Okay, combined attack should break them here. I hope. And it does, fantastic. Right, now we have some room to maneuver. We have some room to really breathe here. Haha! Have we captured Bonn? We have not captured Bonn. Okay. I got a little bit excited there. Ooh, PC2. What's PC2? Right, the Germans have actually exposed themselves over here. I need to make the most of this. Right, this armor doesn't have much movement. I do have armor here, and it does have the movement, we just need to break them. Okay. $16. Okay, we'll move to this location. We are really light on the ground here. I want to point that out, and I'm going to actually pull back some armor to make sure this is reinforced. We are pretty light on our feet. In fact, I'm considering even pulling back here, but it's worthwhile to hold this position. If anything, to just really challenge the Germans. Okay, so 2 understrength US divisions. Let's see, could I take Bonn? I think I will go for Bonn. In fact, if I break that line... Now, if I break this line, they stop receiving supplies completely to the south, at least from the north. So I'll break this line. Do I go for a... I'm going to go for a plant attack. If I push here... Actually, let's push them here. Right, fantastic. I have my armor division able to move. Do we fail? We do. Yeah, they're extremely weak right now. In fairness, I've expended a lot of strength to the north. We really have pushed ourselves to the absolute limit here in the north. Vessel selling was a better option. Yeah, I mean, we have really... In fact, I'm going to use British forces, I think, to plug the gaps. But we'll see what we have available to us, because we are starting to run low on firepower. Let's see, I can move the armoured forces across the river, along with the infantry, but I'm going to move the infantry first. That should be sufficient to break through. I eat my words. Right, the fortified zone surrendered. Fantastic. Okay, so we do have the ability to move up now, which is great news. I'm going to move up the British infantry, but I'm not going to have much movement there. Okay, move the armoured. Hello there, Paul. How are we doing there, ladies? How are we doing there, ladies and gentlemen? I think that was just automatic muscle memory there. Okay. Right, they've repelled us, but we're going to reinforce our position. I am going to shift this division down to the south, however. The reason for that is I really need to preserve the Americans to the south. Those poor US tank divisions seems they're down to a handful of Shermans and a cook now. Yeah, but that cook is damn good at what he does. I mean, we are pushing on Cologne. We are so very close to it. I mean, we have threatened the Germans in a massive way now. So this is going to cause issues. And in fact, what I might actually do here is if I push them in the south, if I force this division to retreat, I really force them into a difficult position. Let's see. Issue is these forces are so spread out, we need to consolidate them and force them through. You think Germans are any better at this stage? Yeah. That's very true. put that division to the attack. Right, let's try this. Good, very good news. We may be able to exploit, and we can. Ooh, now this is interesting. Okay, nothing much stronger than a regiment to push up. Though we will push up what we can just to help. Or not. Okay. It's so relaxing watching you play this entertaining game, so glad I'm not stressing this one out. It's really nice of you, dude. Really, really nice. We are actually in a great position. If only I had some more maneuverability in the north. This is the issue. Not quite. Okay, this is really pushing the Germans. I could throw my hand there, but I'm not going to. Right, do we drop the airborne? Not yet. We are getting close to that position, but not there yet. I think I'm going to force my way through these divisions here. It's going to be a slog, but we're going to do it. Actually, I'm going to consolidate these forces, have them operate under, well, with their own forces. Okay. What I need to do is I need to start weakening this force here. I mean, what do we have here? 150th Panzer Brigade, the 361st Volksgrenadier Division, the 6th SS Mountain Division. Very tough opponent. So in fact, I could weaken... Well, I actually can't. This is pretty tough to break through. Okay. Cover that position. Allow that division to move to the north. Need to try and break them. Ah, see you later there, my dude. Have a great day. Right, do we have the ability to go again? No, but we have weakened them significantly. So that's something that we are in a good position at doing. Right, I need to swap some of these divisions over. It's getting complicated. I need to pull back these US armor divisions to have them refit. Okay, go to refit. Okay, that's going to work out fine. I think the situation is pretty grim on the German side. They had one good attack, which cost them the defensive positions everywhere else. But man, it was a good attack. I mean, they did destroy almost 1,000 armored fighting vehicles. That is a phenomenal result and a huge victory. I mean, if we take a look at this then, so total AFVs, so total ready AFVs, you can see that our numbers have dropped massively due to that one attack. Massive. Let's see, total losses, that's air execution. Right. Yeah, huge. Huge loss there. Take care, dude. You're on the War in the East campaign you did a year ago. It's one of my favourite series on YouTube. Ah, that's really, really nice, man. That's really nice of you to say. I would like to do some more War in the East in the future. I would like to do it as a play-by-email campaign instead, just to really get the challenge going. I'm glad you enjoyed it, though. I do have a lot out there in terms of the Gary Grisby games, and you know what? I'm always going to continue to do it. I think they're honestly one of the best games going, well, series of games going, and I just adore them. I really do enjoy working alongside the Matrix and Slytherin group. They're fantastic, and it's really, really great of them to allow me to do this, and I'm very much eager to do it more in the future. Okay, let's see. I could draw forces from the north, perhaps. It's difficult. Very difficult. It might be slow going over here in the north once we get some steam going. I mean, we do have a lot of forces across the river line now. That's good. But you're still attacking and pushing them back while refitting those shuttered units. That's very true. And the south is really where we need to take a look at our possible plays. I don't have that much strength here, which is why I've been very hesitant about it. But you know what? We might be able to push through here. Let's give it a go. Yeah, they just about hold. And again, they hold. We will break them in time. Oh, this is all the attempt. Okay. This is quite strong, this position here. Good, we've actually broken that line here. I can't exploit it as of yet. We will be able to try and exploit that in the following turn. But that's really good. It's really quite good. We are starting to weaken them across the board, and we are starting to bleed them. But this is looking good. We have like narrowed this down to 2 hexes, so these German forces are going to have to choose to retreat or not. And the thing is, if they retreat, they lose these well-positioned defensive fortifications. They're going to lose them. And this is good. They're starting to run past their defensive fortifications now. Cologne is barely held. It would have fallen had we had more steam in the area. So yes, we need to get these forces moving. We need to get the priority up here. I'm going to put these to level 4 priority. And same to these forces here, level 4 priority, which they already are. Priority. In fact, let's make the whole goddamn US 3rd a priority. Along with the 1st Army, which already is. Fantastic. Okay, so things are starting to go rather interestingly. Let's see what we have over here in England. We do have a bunch of forces that we can move, which is really quite nice. This is under... Yep, so we have more forces here. Let's take a look then. I do have 17th US Airborne. We need to get them across the channel. Okay, let's start moving these forces. We do have a bunch of airborne. If we did a massive airborne landing, that'd be great. Right. Let's see. We'll go from... see, naval transport mode. 54,000 tons. Yeah, Southampton's where we're going to go from. Okay. I need a lot of capacity. 67,000 tons. Only 2,000 tons over there. No wonder we don't get much freight that way. We'll land over here then. So we're going to send the forces... We'll send a division here to Le Havre. Right, they can't unload as of this turn. But reinforcements are going to be pouring into France right now. So that's great news. I'm not sure if there's going to be a raffle. If you guys over at Slimming want to answer that question, that'd be fantastic. I hope there's a raffle. Okay. Right, so these forces are starting to cross the channel now. Reinforcements are on their way. Right, we can't move out at this moment. Let's see, can we unload? We can. Oh, there we go. Armored has landed. Okay. Fantastic. So, that's good. That's very good. We've had a few thousand extra men arrive. Specifically airborne, which are going to be really quite nice to be using. We do need to set up more airborne operations and really make them go ahead. Okay. Let's see, do we plan new drop locations? I think if we drop further behind enemy lines, we might have a greater chance of success, but I still feel this could be very good. I just need to break through in the south. If I could open up the south in such a way as to allow breakthrough, then that would be definitely a position to go ahead. A position of absolute strength that could be made workable. So, we're going to proceed to the following turn and just see what sort of pain we endure. If we hold our positions roughly, we may be able to maybe cut off some German forces or potentially take the city of Trier. I'm not too confident on that last one. We'll have to see, honestly. But things are proceeding. They're going rather interestingly. We did lose just shy of 900 armoured fighting vehicles in one absolutely incredible German counteroffensive. Just incredible, really. Definitely something we do not want to see a repeat of. At the end of the day, I was quite ahead there. I was exposing myself to multiple vectors, and I suffered for that. So we'll see how the Germans respond. Cologne is threatened, and if we do take Cologne, then the German logistics network is going to suffer a nightmare. So we're going to try and bring that about. Okay. So our air planning would be a tank on XTRG. Yeah, definitely. Okay, we're going to shift our reconnaissance. In fact, I'm going to shift it to this area here. I need reconnaissance on this area. Okay, that'll do for me right now. Handy that my air directives are rather simple at this moment in time. Okay, we are hitting these areas. It seems like this location has been strengthened. But that's no issue. If we take Cologne, it will come in the future. Okay, 1,145 sorties. Quite low losses. It seems like the Luftwaffe really isn't flying often now. So if we take a look at this then. And indeed. It seems like we didn't see much movement. It seems like the Germans did pull back over here, which is interesting. Yeah, they've really repositioned. But they haven't... Ooh, wow, okay. So 116th Panzer Division, the 17th SS Panzer Grenadier Division, and the 2nd Volksgym Corps. We do have... Yeah, the Germans have responded to this attack. Let's see, what do we have here? They're strengthening their position here, but we might be able to break through. To the south, we see a very light position here. This position has strengthened. It might be that we are able to break through here. We'll have to see. I don't quite have the ability to break here, but I can get through this. I can break this. And in fact, we can break this over here too. I think things are starting to develop in such an interesting way as to make certain possibilities more of a reality. Okay. We'll start from this area here. We'll see how we get on. Let's take a look at our air attacks then. So we bombed this unit over here. Well, air interdiction. Okay. I may have to take a look at my air doctrines and make sure they're actually working as planned. But let's see then. I could go for a hasty attack and probably break that. I mean, that is the... Yes, a regiment of Bulge Grenadiers. The fact is, if we break this location, we are going to open up this pocket and really drive home values, really. Okay, they're looking better. They are starting to get there. They do need a couple more turns of just rest, but that's something that we can afford, so we can do that. This position here I could break, and actually that's going to be quite nice. The Germans are starting to look weary. A bit like a puncher-drunk boxer, really. Okay. I could do with reforming these forces, really. Okay. Let's see what we can do. This needs to be where we attack first from. Right, we'll use 2 divisions. That should be enough firepower. Yes, it is. Fantastic. Right, we have 128. We can advance. Now we have the ability to run a hasty attack, but I'm going to use 2 divisions here. We can go for a full planned attack. This is fantastic. Okay, I'm going to go for that. Please, please, please. Right, they don't succeed. But, right, okay, we're out of movement, but we have really weakened their defenses here now. Okay. Right, 9, so we could push this potentially. Right, 11 here. Right, so you're strengthened with tanks. That's good. Okay. Let's go for a full attack. They break through. Fantastic. Okay, so we've actually pulled off something quite vital to our interest in this area. Oh, jeez. Okay. The dream is becoming a reality. Right, yes, the dream is definitely becoming a reality. We might be able to cut these forces off here. You need to break through in the south. This is all that we need. You are very correct in that. If we break through, let's use yellow. We need to break through this area, and I think this is certainly a possibility that it might be able to happen. I could even land forces over here with the airborne, and that is going to be great. I think we'll take a look at that option then, but I do need to break through here first to make this reality. Okay, let's see what we can do here, ladies and gentlemen. Right, 5. Let's see, I'm going to throw something else in there, so we have the 28th. Okay. This is the 4th. Ah, there we go. Okay. Armored, take the armored out. That should be sufficient. And it is. Oh my god, the dream. The dream is becoming real, ladies and gentlemen. Right, that's much closer. If we push this out of the way, we might have a chance. Just a shame that we don't have full strength divisions here. But I think we need to change that. Right, strengthen our flank. Okay, we have the elements of the 28th. Reform them just outside of Baston. Okay. I couldn't break that. I might be able to throw them off. And we do. We actually managed to capture Bitburg. Okay. They're down to 2 hexes. I can follow this up! Right, do we go safe? We'll go safe for the time being. Now, what do we have here? We have a Vodska division, potentially. What can I throw from the north? From the north, I can throw these armored divisions. Okay, let's throw the armor into this. Right, can you pull off a planned attack? You can't, but you can go for a hasty. We'll go for a hasty attack. Ladies and gentlemen, the dream is so close. I mean, this is so difficult. I can barely hold this. So let's see, can we drop any troops into this? I need a division. Right, you would drop at 1110, 190. 110, 190, perfect. Right, drop, drop, drop. I need more escorts. Just throw everything into it. Launch the attack. Right, 419 troops. They land, the defending forces have retreated, and we've landed on the ground. So the 82nd US Airborne is in position. Can we drop these forces too? We do not have a transport aircraft available. Well, this is it, ladies and gentlemen. We've actually landed a bunch of 82nd US Airborne troops behind our enemy's lines. Now, this isn't going to hold, but the fact is, it's just going to be the stranglehold. Actually, I can throw in a division here. This is great. This is actually working out great. Yeah, that attack 2 turns ago looked bad, but it really was a desperate maneuver that belied how weak they are. Really has. And the fact is, we've actually managed to pull something off here. If I can strengthen my position here, we actually stand a shot. I'm looking for the 106. Don't get me wrong, I do not expect this position to hold, and I'm really worried about that. Let's see, can I move this armoured? I can move the armoured up here. At least that strengthens it a little bit more. This division I'm going to put on to reserve. Okay, yeah. Take Triad and you're golden. Definitely. I mean, this is going to put pressure on them from the south too, which is great news. Okay, we'll try throwing them the 90th Regiment. Good, we forced them out. I could push this position here. I'm going to do that. They hold against all odds. Another attack, they might fall, and they have fallen. And this is it, we've dislodged the SS. The dreaded SS. I need to follow up and hold that position. Or do I? I'd like to do that just to make sure that we hold it. Okay, this is looking pretty good. Hit them with interdiction next turn. Yeah, we definitely will. Okay, the armoured isn't really in a great position right now, but it could follow up. Though I'm going to keep them static. Okay, we could even move on here. XTRG is a destroyer of dreams. Definitely I am. Okay, I could get behind their lines, and what would we face? Volksgrenadier, Volksgrenadier, a full Volksgrenadier division, and a Volksgrenadier division, so we would be smacked around there. But the fact is, we've actually managed to hold a position, we've actually managed to push this here. What can I do? I could go for a hasty attack here. As this position I could reinforce, I'm going to go for a hasty attack. In fact, I might be able to go for a planned attack with further reinforcements. Let's see. Okay, this is getting rather fun. First Command divisions at this time of the war are not elite formations. Yeah, very true. A lot of them were lost on Crete, weren't they? Really wasted resources. Okay, this, I don't think we need to bother attacking. I could pull the... Let's see. I could break up the 75th. Oh, boy, I'm getting rather excited by this. Okay, now with the infantry, this should be sufficient. And it is. We've actually taken the airfield too. Right, so we've actually pushed this. This is our weakest point right here. By far the weakest point, and it does worry me. So we're just going to push that over there. I'm going to push this... I'm not going to push this force because I actually don't... Melons. Okay. That's worrying. Right, you go there. I'm just going to throw you in there just to fill that gap. It's not very good, it's not very smart, but it fills the gap. Okay. Can't do anything against that. Reserve. Okay. So we've managed to isolate for the time being the 84th Infantry Division, the 363rd Volksgrenadier Division, the 2nd SS Panzer Division, the 10th SS Panzer Division, sorry, the 2nd Panzer Division, the 10th SS Panzer Division, the 130th Lehr Division, a regiment of the 9th Volksgrenadiers, the 167th Volksgrenadiers, and the 19th Volksgrenadiers, the 2nd Regiment of the Volksgrenadier Division, the 344th Infantry Division, and the 18th Volksgrenadier Division. So we have in there 4 Panzer Divisions. That is a lot. That is a huge amount of resources. And you know what? We might even be able to survive this. I doubt it. I really do, but this is honestly the best chance that we have at this. This is our best shot. And you know what? I'm so happy about that. I don't think we could have asked for something better. I mean, this is what we've been trying to push for a long time now. I don't think it's going to hold, but at the end of the day, if we maintain these positions even closely, that's going to be great news. We do have strength here to push in the south, potentially, so we need to make that into a reality. Okay, let's see. I need both these forces. Okay, I could get the armoured across the river. Or I could go with the infantry. I'm going to go with the infantry. Yeah, it's going to cost them more troops to break through or break out. Definitely. Again, they hold. Right, we need to pull off these attacks across the line. Okay, why are they so far? Right, 7th Army can move to Metz. This division could move up. Off the tracks. And on your backs. That means you can push towards Koblenz and Mainz more easily cut off more troops. Very true. I mean, the fact is, we've really... What do they have remaining? They have some strength over here. But beyond this, they have some regiments, divisions. I mean, this is the danger over here. But the fact is, if they push, then we can move towards Koblenz and the entire German centre will collapse. And once that collapses, then the British can move in the north. And the British are going to be making their way through their lines. It's only a matter of time. We are using our firepower here to break them. Now let's see. I can break this position. I need to weaken them. Yeah, it is collapsing. Okay. Let's see, I might be able to break them. I'm going to throw the infantry here. Make sure that we definitely break through. And even then, with those divisions extra, we do not break through. I'm going to save the attack until the next. It may very well be that we have the British rolling across Germany. And we have definitely suffered to make this progress. But the fact is, we have reinforcements on the way. I mean, we have even more forces over here to send across the Thames now. Sorry, the Thames. That was because I'm reading that. The English Channel. So, the situation is definitely interesting. And if we were to take a look at the losses that we might inflict here, it is going to be huge. They are going to be catastrophically weakened in the centre line. But you know what, ladies and gentlemen? I think this is a great place for us to leave off the 3rd session in the series. So we have 3 more sessions to go of this, this scenario. And it's a great point, because we're midway through the scenario. And this has been interesting. Yes, you suffered here, but you didn't suffer during the Bulge as they did in IRL. Well, this is it. I mean, the German offensive really was stalled. And, well, was that really a bad thing for them? In fact, I suppose it might have been a good thing for them that their offensive was stalled, because at the end of the day, it was a failed offensive to begin with. At least this way they've been able to hold on to their forces longer. These forces, I believe, will withdraw at some point. We'll have to see. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching. I hope you've all enjoyed this. You can go over and find my channel on YouTube. My channel is XTRG. And I'd like to see you over there as well. So thank you for watching. Do let me know if you do decide to pick up the War in the West, as I hope you will do. You only just got here. I'm sorry about that, my friend. Yeah, this will be posted from the Matrix Games channel, well, on the Matrix Games channel on YouTube, so you can find it there. And I imagine you'd always be able to watch it on replay here on Twitch. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and goodbye. See you again very, very soon. Sean Economy soon. Goodbye, my dudes. Have a great one.